Okay, so this is the growth marketing meeting, weekly meeting, and we're going to pop into housekeeping. I'd like to introduce everyone to Sanmi. Sanmi is joining us as a front-end engineer on the digital experience team. So rounding out our team through Q4 with all of this big work we're getting after to do with design system and CMS. So welcome, Sanmi, to the team. I got a couple questions for you. One is the one that is always the question, and then one I thought of this morning while I was making coffee, because I'm sure everyone on this call could use just thinking about vacation and not being in our whatever room we're in. So imagining the pandemic was over and you could drop everything right now and travel somewhere for the next 2 weeks, where would you go?
Spokane, Washington States.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
Hey, tell us why.
Yeah. Because I have a huge family there, even though I don't like the snow, but
Yeah.
I've missed them a lot. 2 years ago, I was supposed to go for Thanksgiving. Then I said, okay, I'll go next year, not knowing that the virus is going to be here. So now I can't go because I don't want to risk it. I don't want to travel all the way there and maybe give them a virus or get a virus from them. But I miss them a lot. So immediately this virus is over, I'm going there.
I see the connection. That makes sense, because when you first said Spokane, it's like, does Sanmi know about places like Hawaii or Fiji or France? But yeah, I
Yeah,
see where you're coming from.
I miss them so much. Yeah.
Awesome. And the one I always like asking, which I'm sure some people will be tired of hearing, but it seems to be not everyone picks the same one. So I'm interested to know which of GitLab's values resonates the most with you and why.
It's actually the iteration.
Oh, cool. How
Yes.
come?
The reason is because it's actually uh, a part of me that is, I always think I was weird, but now that I know that it's a culture system, that makes me so much happy because I believe in, yeah, we understand the big picture, but be pragmatic about whatever I do. I'm always pragmatic. I can wake up in the middle of the night and grab my computer to do something just because I don't want to lose the idea. So doing it is not because that's the end goal, it's because I want to retain whatever I got immediately. So I'm very pragmatic. Some people think some always think it's a stupid way, like, no, you have to document every single thing, then plan, write a business plan. No, I don't have time for that. If I want to do anything, I want to do it now. And I want to keep building on that. Even if I finally make a mistake, I know that, okay, I did not waste my time. So I love iteration a lot. So that's
That's
basically.
so amazing. I found that to be the hardest of our values, just I think company wide. So that's awesome that it resonates with you, resonates with me as well. Well, welcome to the team, Sanmi. Sanmi and I have had some really good conversations leading up to him starting. And one of the things that I'm going to hold you to is these dance breaks that you told us about. So, maybe not right now because it's pretty early for some of us on the West Coast, but I want to see some of those.
Definitely. I'm going to bring it up one day.
Great. All right. Well, Shane, I'll pass it over to you.
Thanks, Michael. So we didn't kick off with music, but I do have some music for everybody this week. So let's see if it
When the cafe doors exploded, I
all right, good. So my audio visual problems are not like completely just blowing everything up. So that's through the quarter. We do have some items that I'm very concerned about. Looking at the changes here, for the first time, we're seeing overall user growth dip into the negative. New users are actually up about 4%. Still not anywhere near our 20% target, but something that we're definitely taking a look at here. And then page views are relatively stable, staying around that 9% growth area. So we're really going to be focusing on finding out what's going on with users and seeing if we can identify regions or some other areas that might indicate why we're seeing that drop specifically. And then moving on to MQLs, so we see another, the pace is still dipping in large, which is something we expected as we enter, the holiday season in the U.S. with Thanksgiving next week. Typically, this time of year, you start to see trials start to slowly ramp down as you get closer to the end of the year. So we're still on pace for mid-market. I anticipate that next week we're going to be a little bit below, just as we enter into further into the holiday season. So something we're keeping an eye on. And again, I think looking at the what we want to see for users as far as regions, I think we can also look at regions and areas of the site where we can make sure that everything's flowing as it should there. Inquiries, let's see. So I hadn't added, I didn't update this quarter to date total. Actually, hold on, let me share my screen because I didn't put these updates in there. Just a second. I pulled the numbers, but I didn't add this transcription. So what we see here is the enterprise trial and SaaS trial, all these items broken out by where we're at today. So 901, and then divide that by 18 for a daily pace, and then multiply it by the days in November. So that gives us 1,501 enterprise trials. So that's self-managed. 5,293 SaaS trials, and then Gitlab.com signups trending up, still over 100,000 for the month is the trend we're on, and then demo I think slightly up as well. So I'll update the agenda with these numbers, and we can happy to take a look at there. I don't see any questions. Does anybody have any questions that they haven't added to the agenda? All right, great. Well then, so Luke is not on the call, so I'll just go ahead and lead us into show and tell. So for show and tell, the first person on the agenda is Rebecca Dodd. Rebecca, you ready to share?
That is a great question. I was ready to share my news, but not my screen. So give me 1 second. Basically today, what I want to share is the Q3 traffic review. That's blog traffic specifically. And you should hopefully be seeing that now. So this is an exercise that I do at the end of every quarter. Obviously, we have to account for the fact that some blog posts were published right at the end of the quarter and they might have not had as much time to build up traction. So I do go back and update those numbers with like a 6-month lens a little bit later. But this is just a snapshot of what traffic did this quarter. Overall, we can see traffic was down both on posts overall and on new posts. I have some theories as to why that is. The main one being we had a dip in social promotion in August because the social marketing team paused any new promotion while they were doing their promotion of GitLab commit. So that would naturally have a big impact on our traffic to new posts. Yeah, I wanted to call out a couple of things here. Wanted to shout out to John Jarvis, who wrote this top blog post with over 20,000 unique views. And then this is also notable. The HashiCorp Waypoint post was turned around really quickly as a kind of newsjacking effort that was led by developer evangelism, and Sarah from my team worked with them on it. And yeah, it was just great to see people coming together to make that happen, and the community received it really well. Everyone is welcome to browse this, weigh in with any theories you have and any recommendations. I will leave it open for a little bit, and yeah, please browse, leave comments, go wild. After me is Niall. Take it away.
Hi, yeah, so I'll just share my screen. So one of the projects we're running at the moment is a page 2 opportunity project. So basically what it's doing is just identifying keywords that are positioned currently on page 2 that have a high search volume, and running optimization projects to see if we can improve position to page 1 and increase click-through rate. Provide 1,700 specific to the about page we want to work on. So I'm only about 2% way through it. We started last week, but just to give a rundown of the impact so far. So of the 39 optimizations that were done, 24 have shown positive growth and 17 have gone onto page 1. And just to give an overview of that. So here's an example of the position changes we've seen. So some of them have been pretty good. And just to give an overview of the impact. So for example, for container security, that term alone, you'd see a monthly search volume of about 1,600. On page 2, obviously on position 18, the bottom of page 2, you're obviously not going to get any traction for that. But following the optimization, it went up 16 positions to position 2 on page 1. So you can probably expect a 20% click-through rate. So hypothetically, it could increase traffic by about 300 a month. So as we go on and we go through the full listing, hopefully we should see a good increase in traffic over time just by executing these optimization projects. And so next up is Steve McGuinness.
Good morning, everybody. I will keep you all on the edge of your seats with a very succinct review of the reskin of the homepage. So just let me share my screen very quickly. So I'm speaking, but this is a collective effort. So there was a lot of people that worked on this somewhere on the call. So shout out to everybody. So this is a really quick reskin, and it tied in very closely with this page as well. I won't speak too heavily on this one because then I'll be stealing Matt's thunder for doing such a lovely job on this, which we use as heavy influence for our homepage, which is to take this nice white, clean approach to the brand and introduce some nice little graphical elements and scatter them around the page to sort of bring the page alive a little bit. And also help accessibility and flow. So we can see we've got some new approaches to our type stack, some CTAs, some visual treatment as well. And then just the page in general has a bigger size, I guess, with more vertical space. So we've introduced that as well. This all ties into the work that we're doing with the design system. So it helps us help ourselves with understanding how things work on pages. And then we can be systematic about how we break these out into components, elements, and then ultimately blocks, pages, and templates as we go with the work we have on the horizon. We weren't able to tackle this gorgeous beast in the middle of the page, but it's on our list. But as you can see, it's got a different look and feel. Javi, who's on the call, was able to knock this out of the park really well and worked closely with all our other developers on the team. So yeah, it's familiar but different, I guess, is the maybe, I don't know if that's an Irish proverb, but it's something that you can say about it. So yeah, that's all. Feel free to have a check. Here is the enterprise page again. This is a fantastic page. Great to go in and have a look and see how the brand is taking shape and how this impacts our digital touch points. So yeah, I'll stop rambling and get into my coffee here. Thank you. Oh, I don't know who's next. I lost the agenda. Sorry, I had my screen all broken up.
Looks like Becky.
Thanks.
Hey all. Okay, let's see. So I have two quick things here. This is really, I didn't do much on this. This is just, I put together typography guidelines scaffolding to hand over to the brand team. And the point of this is just that we can have quick guidelines for all of our type. This is FPO because they would make the rule, the brand team would make the rules and put that in actual practice and put them in here. But the idea is that we can add all of this stuff. So when we give this to either the web team or outside partners, we have a document on how we should be using our typography so that there is less iterations and we have more efficiency. So I did that. And then the other thing here that I've been working on is before having to hand this over to Michael and do a lot of the work that you guys are doing. I've been working with the partners team to kind of go through what they need on their web properties. So putting together a roadmap that we have of quick MVCs, different stages, and then making sure that it'll align with the navigation updates, the design system and CMS, so that we're not having updates to this page while you guys are doing other things. And then it quickly goes over an audit of their pages, the things that we need to think about. There's stage 1 cleanup for UL structure. So Niall, get ready for that. That'll be coming your way. And then just quickly put together a competitive analysis of HashiCorp, and then we'll add a few others in there to look at kind of best practices, but also what can we just do that other people are doing well instead of reinventing the wheel. So that is what I have been doing this week. And let's see, Erica.
There's a couple of comments under yours. I'm wondering if Matt wants to vocalize his first before we move on, if we need to have a discussion here. Or I can just start. You tell me, Matt.
Matt was writing in a document, and he can only do one thing at a time, apparently. So I missed that. Sorry.
I was
Yes,
just wondering
so
if you wanted to vocalize your.
I can
Sorry.
just respond to that, Matt. I talked to Luke about this, about providing this outline of typography guidelines, and I told him that I'd be sending it over to you guys to fill out because it's necessary and we can update it as needed, but this would be a first iteration.
Yeah, the given how like from ebook to website to mobile website and all that, we are developing like a typography scale that's like a relative one. It'll be in like a much larger brand guidelines and a brand platform, brand manual. So yeah, we got a lot of retroactive work to do. So we'll be providing a fully branded presentation, website edition, and PDFs and all that. So it's good to know we're not the only ones thinking about it.
Yep. Okay, Erica.
All right. I just wanted to share an update on our tone of voice project. I'm gonna share my screen. So I've been working with a contractor of ours, Ash Withers, to pull together this tone of voice document. This is the first draft, but super excited about this. She came up with this name, Seat at the Table, which I think really just wraps up all of our values and kind of existing tone of voice documentation really well. I'm not going to go through all of this. I linked to it so you can go through it yourself. But I wanted to share just what the name is, where it's heading. I'm going to be meeting with her again on Monday. So if you do have a chance to look through it and have any questions or comments, go ahead and either drop a question in the doc, or I can link to the epic that we're looking from as well. And the goal is that we're going to be wrapping all of this up and making it real by the end of the month. So really excited about this. And I'm gonna move right into the shout out section. So this is a chance for you to give a shout out to anybody who helped you out this week. Shane, let's start with you.
Great. Yeah. So I am twisting the shout out just a little bit at the beginning here. I want to shout out Niall for congratulate him on his promotion.
Woohoo!
So just a quick shout out to Niall. We could have covered that in housekeeping, but I didn't think to add it there. So that's why it's in shout outs. Also want to shout out Gila, Sam, Nicholas, and Stan. They helped move forward merge requests. It's going to allow us to close the loop on free trial reporting for Gitlab.com, so we can see more than just somebody clicking to the application. If they're logged out, we'll be able to actually see the conversion event and track that in Google Analytics. So very excited about that change and appreciate their help in moving that forward. And next up is MP.
Thanks, Shane. And congrats, Niall. That's so awesome. So I just wanted to give a shout out. That work that Stephen shared is huge, such a huge amount of work. And I just wanted to say thank you to Stephen, Jessica Holleran, Javi, Brandon. You guys did so much work. And Matt, thanks a lot for collaborating on the design direction. Erica, you gave us so much support on the copy and content strategy. Shane and your team, we were very worried we're going to break all your tracking, because obviously if it looks nice, that's one thing, but it's got to work great. And if we break the tracking, we just don't know how things are working. Thanks to Danielle, for pushing us. We took on a pretty audacious goal. That was kind of at her recommendation, and Todd giving us feedback and air cover over the last 2 sprints. So I don't really think I have any right to be proud, but I just feel incredibly proud of this team for coming together. It's everybody onboarded in a month, and we've done 2 sprints and put something live on the homepage. It's just so amazing. I'm just so thrilled, and thanks everyone. And it's just the beginning of what we're going to do here. And on to Becky.
I think I have on here, thanks Michael for having energy for the week that I don't. I realized that I'm orange because I was like, oh, everybody is so excited about things. And I was like, why am I getting so cranky about this? Everybody should be excited. They did a lot of work. That's how I know I'm tired. And then thank you, Erica, for pushing through that tone of voice work. It's really great, and it'll really help with the brand messaging work. Thanks, Javi, for jumping on a bug issue the other day. And then Parker is not on this call, but thank you for working on the cross-functional CI messaging. It's gotten a lot more clear. On to Erica.
All right, I have a shout out for Tina. I haven't uploaded the video to Unfiltered yet, but I will. But earlier this week, she walked me through the changes coming for the topic pages in the CMS. And really my only comment to the whole thing was amazing, which is a great way to spend a review session. And just really looking forward to seeing this live. This is going to be huge for the content team to be able to go in and create these pages and have these modularized sections and turn things on and off. And it just looks really nice. So thanks for all that work, Tina.
Awesome. That looks like the end of the agenda. I'm going to stop the recording here.